and welcome from the mission control of Satish Dhawan Space Center, the spaceport located in the southern part of India at Sriharikota. Today, we have the launch of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, the mission designated as PSLV C-39, and it is the 41st flight of PSLV. The main passenger on board this mission is the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite IRNSS-1H, and it is the 8th satellite in the IRNSS series. The 29 hours countdown for the mission started yesterday afternoon, and during the countdown phase of operations, liquid propellants were successfully filled up in the second and fourth stage of the rocket. As far as the liftoff for the launch vehicle is concerned, it is at 19 hours Indian Standard Time, which is a delay of 1 minute from the earlier scheduled time. And this revised liftoff time has been worked out to ensure safe distance of IRNSS-1H from the orbiting space debris once it reaches the orbit. If you may recall, the first navigational satellite IRNSS-1A was launched during July 2013, followed by launches of 1B and 1C during 2014, 1D during 2015, and IRNSS-1E, 1F and 1G during 2016. So presently we have 7 IRNS satellites already up in space. The countdown right now is minus 27 minutes for the launch. As far as the overall liftoff mass of the launcher is concerned, it is at 320 tons. The overall mass of the IRNSS-1H satellite is 1425 kg, and the orbit for this mission is a sub-geosynchronous transfer orbit with the nearest point of 284 km, which is a perigee, and the farthest point at 20,650 km, which is the apogee. The orbital inclination would be 19.2 degrees for this mission, and the PSLV vehicle configuration for today's launch is the PSLV XL version, which is the high-end version of PSLV with extended strap-on motors. With regard to countdown, we are at minus 27 minutes from the launch.
Mark minus 27 minutes and counting.
नमस्कार, मैं सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र से सभी दर्शकों का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं। आज का ये PSLV लॉन्च जो इस उड़ान की 41वीं उड़ान है, भारतीय प्रादेशिक नौवहन सैटेलाइट 1H, जिसे इंडियन रीजनल नेविगेशनल सैटेलाइट अथवा नाविक कहा जाता है, इसे लॉन्च करने के लिए तैयार होता हुआ। अभी आप आपके स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं PSLV C-39, जो सेकेंड लॉन्च पैड पर लॉन्च के करीब 36 मिनट दूरी पर। जहां तक काउंटडाउन का सवाल है, काफी सफलतापूर्वक आगे बढ़ता हुआ, और इस लॉन्च के लिए 29 घंटों वाला काउंटडाउन कल शुरू किया गया था, और काउंटडाउन के दरमियान PSLV के दूसरे और चौथे चरण में लिक्विड ईंधन भर कर दिया था, और अब PSLV रॉकेट अपने अंतिम चरणों से चेकआउट संचालन से गुजर रहा है। आज का ये 425 किलो वजन वाला IRNSS-1H सैटेलाइट ठीक 7 बजे भारतीय समय अनुसार लॉन्च किया जाएगा। फॉर द व्यूअर्स, वी हैव ए शॉर्ट वीडियो डॉक्यूमेंट्री ऑन इंडिया's Regional Navigation Satellite System, IRNSS, and its major areas of application. Here is a documentary on IRNSS.
NAVIC, the navigation with Indian constellation, is the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System aimed at providing reliable navigation services. The system has been developed for providing accurate information on the position, velocity, and time to the users. It will provide position accuracy better than 20 meters over India. And in the surrounding region, extending to about 1,500 kilometers. With NAVIC in place, our dependence on the foreign navigation systems will be significantly reduced. India has joined an elite club of very few nations who have their own satellite-based navigation system. Navik is a constellation of 7 satellites positioned in the orbits of nearly 36,000 kilometers altitude above the Earth. All satellites in the constellation are of similar specifications. These satellites are located in 2 types of orbits, namely geostationary Earth orbit and the inclined geosynchronous orbit, thus creating a symphony in space. The first satellite of the series, IRNSS-1H, was launched in July 2013, and the 7th satellite, IRNSS-1G, in April 2016. IRNSS-1H replaces IRNSS-1A, which has developed anomalies in its onboard atomic clocks, while IRNSS-1H joins the constellation for providing navigation services. IRNSS-1A will now be used for messaging services. This satellite weighs around 1,425 kilograms. Like its predecessors, it has 2 types of payloads, navigation payload and ranging payload. The navigation payload operating in the S and L5 bands is meant for transmitting navigation signals to the users. The ranging payload comprises a CDMA ranging transponder and operates in the C band. IRNSS-1H comes with more flexibility in service and is also compatible with the other satellites in the orbit. The IRNSS satellites continuously emit time-stamped navigation signals, which are received by the ground-based IRNSS receivers. The information is then processed by the receivers to derive their own position, velocity, and time. For accurate time stamping, IRNSS satellites carry rubidium atomic clocks that are far more accurate than normal electronic clocks. This system provides seamless 24/7 services under all weather conditions. The Navik has immense use for fishermen going to sea. It helps them to reach the high-yielding locations, alerts them about bad weather and international water boundaries. Apart from fishermen, Navik also helps the merchant ships to navigate to their destination in the ocean routes, aids them to search and rescue in disastrous situations. Navik supports numerous applications in the road and railway services. It helps in navigation from point A to point B, tracking of passenger vehicles like trains, buses, taxis, tracking of school vans and traffic management. The position information derived from Navik helps the entrepreneurs and government agencies to manage the resources efficiently using geotagging and geofencing techniques. Linking position information from Navik with geoinformatics systems, a host of location-based services are offered to general public, be it locating a restaurant, shop, office, fuel pump, picnic spot, etc. Using multi-constellation, multi-channel and differential navigation signals, the Navik provides more accurate position information, which helps in applications like surveying, port operations, precision agriculture, road and railway alignments, etc. Navik is also useful in efficient telecom operations, power grid operations, disaster management, atmospheric studies, etc. Thus, Navik plays an important role in every aspect of our life. The satellite has been realized with the team effort of ISRO. Space Applications Center, Ahmedabad, was responsible for realizing the payloads. All sensor elements were delivered by LEOs, while IISU provided inertial elements. LPSC delivered propellant and propulsion system components. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, located at Thiruvananthapuram, supplied all the composite elements like antenna, yokes and substrates for solar panels and pyros. The ISRO Satellite Center, ISAC, at Bengaluru was responsible for the bus systems. The satellite assembly, integration and the environmental tests were carried out at ISAC. The ISRO Navigation Center, located at Bayalalu, is the heart of the ground segment of the NAVIC. The Navigation Control Center at ISTRAC, Bengaluru, and the Satellite Control Facility at MCF, Hassan, play an important role in continuous monitoring and control of space segment. NAVIC ground segment is operational 24/7. It has a number of Indian range and integrity monitoring stations, also called IRMS, which are geographically spread across the country. The ground segment also has IRNSS CDMA ranging stations, IRNSS network timing centers, ISRO navigation centers, and spacecraft control facilities with sufficient redundancies. All of these are interconnected through a robust data communication network. Coming back to IRNSS-1H, after many stringent tests, the satellite is now integrated with the Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV C-39 at Indian Spaceport SDSC, Shah. After launch, it will be placed in a geosynchronous orbit with 29-degree inclination at 55-degree east longitude. IRNSS-1H has a mission life of around 10 years. The indigenous NAVIC provides independent and reliable navigation and timing services in and around our country, making us self-reliant in the field of satellite-based navigation.
ROD, real-time network and mission computers are ready for PSLV C-39 launch. ROD, Roger. RS-4 to ROD, range safety systems are ready for PSLV C-39 launch. ROD, Roger. This network is ready to support PSLV C-39 IRNSS mission.
Mark -17 minutes and counting.
Control CSC when 539 completed.
Roger.
This is Vehicle Director, Mission Director. All vehicle parameters are healthy. Vehicle is ready for PSLV C-39.
And so welcome back to the live events from the Mission Control Center.
Mission Director, Roger.
We are at less than 17 minutes, to be very precise, -16 minutes 40 seconds. We just heard the announcement of Vehicle Director giving authorization to the Mission Director. So from -16 minutes onwards, for the next 1 minute, you will have the authorization being given by the various mission executives, spacecraft director, range director, and telemetry tracking and command network director. So we just heard the announcement for the vehicle director at -17 minutes. So at -16 minutes now.
Mark -16 minutes and counting.
Timing to control, timing in external hold mark.
Yes, -16
Roger.
minutes.
Satellite Director to Mission Director, IRNSS-1H spacecraft is configured and green for launch.
Mission Director, Roger.
Spacecraft director has
Range
just
Operations
authorized
Director to Mission
the
Director, range
activities
systems are ready
for
for
the
PSLV
launch
C-39,
activities.
IRNSS-1H mission.
Mission Director, Roger.
TTC Director to Mission
So range director authorization is
TTC
complete.
network is ready for real-time support of PSLV C-39, IRNSS-1H mission.
Mission Director, Roger.
So TTC director has just authorized the mission director to go ahead with the next phase of activities. So we are at -15 minutes, 22 seconds. And 15 seconds to go before we have the authorization by the mission director, Mr. Hutton, who will give the authorization to proceed with the next phase of launch
Mark
activities.
-15 minutes and counting.
This is Mission Director. Based on the readiness of PSLV C-39 vehicle systems, IRNSS-1H spacecraft, range and TTC network systems, and based on the clearance from Mission Readiness Review Committee and the Launch Authorization Board, I hereby authorize to initiate the launch operation sequence for PSLV C-39 IRNSS-1H mission at 1900 hours IST today, that is 31st August 2017.
So we just heard the
Roger.
announcement by the
All
mission director
stations
at
note,
minus 15
Mission Director
minutes
has
authorizing
given
the launch.
authorization for
So the
PSLV
next-
C-39 IRNSS-1H mission launch.
So next important event will be the initiation of the automatic launch sequence, which will happen at minus 14 seconds. So we are at minus 14 minutes 13 seconds for the launch.
Mark,
minus 14
minus
minutes,
14 minutes and
automatic
counting.
launch sequence has been
Vehicle
initiated.
Director to ALS console. Vehicle Director authorizes for initiating automatic launch sequence for PSLV C-39 IRNSS-1H mission. ALC Roger.
So Vehicle Director has just authorized the initiation of the automatic launch sequence, and it will be exactly at minus 12 minutes the automatic launch sequence will get engaged. Now we'll bring to you a short video capsule of the vehicle integration activities, which will depict the integration of the PSLV C-39 and the IRNSS-1H satellite to the vehicle. Launcher integration activities. So this is the flagging off of the first segment of the S139, which is the core booster for the PSLV C-39. As you are aware, the core booster is a solid booster S139, which consists of 5 segments. So what you're seeing is now the assembly of the core brace shroud X segment, the CBS, followed by the integration of the various other segments. So once we have the assembly of the all 5 segments, the first stage will be ready. So we are at minus 12 minutes 43 seconds for the launch. So first stage assembly is in progress. The last head end segment and first stage is ready now, S139, and to this now we will have the assembly of the 6 solid strap-on boosters, and the propellant loading of each of the strap-on boosters is 12 tons. This is the strap-on booster being moved from the facility in Shar to the launch pad, the second launch pad. So integration of the solid strap-on booster, which is the
Mark,
XL
minus
booster.
12 minutes and counting.
Automatic launch sequence for PSLV C-39 IRNSS-1H mission is initiated.
So we just heard the announcement. Minus 12 minutes, ALS has been engaged, and the vehicle is going through the checkout of the various operations. This is the second stage of PSLV, which is the PS2 stage with 40 tons of propellant loading being integrated on the over the first stage at the second launch pad. So now the first and second stages of the vehicle are fully assembled. This is the third stage, which is a solid stage called S7, which has a propellant loading of around 7 tons. And what is being lowered now is the fourth stage, which is a liquid stage. So it's a third and fourth stage called as PS3 and PS4 is an integrated module. And this integrated module from the preparation facility is being moved to the launch pad. And as a single module, it will be mated to the second stage of the launcher. So once this assembly is completed, the launch vehicle is ready to receive the satellite, as all the 4 stages of the rocket has been integrated. This is a view of the IRNSS-1H in the satellite preparation facility at the launch base. And the spacecraft going through the fueling operations, and after the fueling operation it gets integrated on the payload adapter, and then it will be containerized and then moved to the launch pad. And this is the view of the IRNSS-1H to the 4th stage of the rocket and the closeout of the payload fairing. So payload fairing, which is in 2 halves, gets assembled at the launch pad, and once the vehicle is fully assembled and checked out, the vehicle gets moved from the vehicle assembly building on a mobile launch pedestal, as a view of the PSLV XL vehicle moving on the mobile launch pedestal and being brought to the umbilical tower, which is the launch pad.
Mark, minus 10 minutes and counting.
So PSLV C-39 at the umbilical tower. So countdown is at minus 9 minutes 50 seconds. So view of the mission control center. Chairman ISRO, Shri Kiran Kumar ji, Mr. Kunni Krishnan, who is the director of the Satish Dhawan Space Center. So view of the mission control center here. So all the executives closely monitoring the process of automatic launch sequence when the vehicle parameters are getting checked out. So we are as minus 9 minutes 20 seconds for the launch. जहाँ तक मौसम का सवाल है, कल और आज सुबह से काफी साफ वातावरण दिखाई दे रहा था और लॉन्च के लिए के समय से बिल्कुल अनुकूल. So minus 9 minutes. आप एक नजर आज के PSLV एक्सेल लॉन्च पर.
9 minutes and counting.
PSLV एक्सेल लॉन्चर, ये 4 चरणों वाला रॉकेट.
Event number 563. Data logger
44 मीटर
at
लंबा
Sharwal and Sharp 2 stations.
और लॉन्च के
Roger.
समय 320 टन वजन वाला रॉकेट है. इसका पहला चरण जो सॉलिड ईंधन का है, उसे सॉलिड कोर बूस्टर S139 स्टेज कहा जाता है और ये लगभग 139 टन का ईंधन ले जाता है और इसकी ऊंचाई करीब 20 मीटर की. इस सॉलिड कोर बूस्टर के चारों ओर 6 सॉलिड सॉपॉन बूस्टर जो अपने में 12 टन का सॉलिड ईंधन ले जाते हैं, उसे जोड़ा जाता है. व्यू ऑफ द मिशन कंट्रोल सेंटर. और PSLV का दूसरा चरण जिसे PS2 स्टेज कहा जाता है, वहां करीब 42 टन का लिक्विड ईंधन अपने स्टेज में कैरी करता है और इसकी लंबाई लगभग 12.8 मीटर की है. और PSLV के तीसरे चरण को
8 minutes and counting.
जिसे PS3 स्टेज कहा जाता है और वो अपने में 7 टन का सॉलिड ईंधन ले जाता है. इसी तरह चौथे चरण जो PS4 स्टेज कहलाता है या लिक्विड ईंधन वाला स्टेज है. अब हम लॉन्च के बिल्कुल करीब 7 मिनट 40 सेकंड की दूरी पर. व्यू ऑफ द PSLV C39 फ्रॉम द सेकंड लॉन्च पैड. अभी आपने कुछ ही समय बने सुना कि लॉन्च से करीब 15 मिनट की दूरी पर, जबकि मिशन डायरेक्टर ने लॉन्च ऑथराइज किया था. उसके बाद 14 मिनट पर ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस को ऑथराइज कर दिया था और लगभग 12 मिनट लॉन्च के पहले ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस इनिशिएट हो गया है. एंड इस लॉन्च को ऑथराइज करने वाली जो बॉडी है, वो लॉन्च ऑथराइजेशन बोर्ड. ये तैयारियों की तकनीकी समीक्षा के बाद PSLV C39 मिशन को 2 दिन पहले ऑथराइज कर दिया था, जिसके दरमियान ये 29 घंटों वाला काउंटडाउन कल दोपहर को शुरू हो गया था. अब हम काउंटडाउन से काफी नजदीक 6 मिनट 45 सेकंड की दूरी पर. So minus 6 minutes 40 seconds for the countdown. And if I look at the automatic launch sequence, the vehicle parameters being checked out, you see a lot of greens there. The various health parameters of the launcher and the satellite being checked out sequentially. In fact, there are several hundreds of parameters which gets checked out through the onboard computer that resides in the launch vehicle. So today's weather here at the launch site has been very clear and favorable for the launch. As you are aware, for every launch, weather plays a very important role, especially during the time of liftoff and while the launch vehicle travels through the atmosphere, which is during the initial 70 to 80 seconds of flight after liftoff, and it corresponds to an altitude around 25 to 30 kilometers. So by weather, what we really mean is the wind condition which exists on the ground and in the upper atmosphere. And as these wind conditions change during the time of the day and the month due to seasonal variations, accurate measurement of wind speed and direction becomes very important for every launch activity. So at the launch base, a very close monitoring of the wind and weather condition has been carried out during the launch campaign, and these activities in fact took the intense operations as we approached on the launch day. So the countdown is at minus 5 minutes 12 seconds. A view of the mission control center for you. So as I was mentioning you about the weather conditions for taking the wind measurements, there were
5 minutes and counting.
4 balloons that were released to take a measurement of the upper atmospheric winds.
Reception of radar's data.
In fact, the first balloon was released at 2 hours 45 minutes, second balloon at 2 hours 20 minutes, and the last balloon was released at 1 hour 40 minutes. And the reason for doing this staggered releasing of balloon is to allow them to reach the respective altitudes Finally, the winds measured by this balloon over various altitude gets combined and synthesized to form a single wind profile from 0 to 21 kilometers. So minus 4 minutes, 25 seconds for the launch. So based on the winds that were measured, a steering program was generated and it has been loaded in the onboard flight system at launch minus 45 minutes. A view of the Mission Control Center. Chairman ISRO, Shri Kiran Kumar.
Mark minus 4 minutes and counting.
Minus 4 minutes for the launch now. So at T0, we will have the ignition of the solid core stage. Along with that, there will be ignition of the 4 solid strap-on boosters as well, which will get ignited on the ground. And this will be followed by the ignition of the remaining 2 strap-on boosters at 25 seconds into the flight. So at minus...
Onboard computers in flight mode.
Minus 3 minutes, 25 seconds. And if you just go through the flight sequence, the first stage will take the vehicle to a height of around 56 kilometers and will impart a velocity of around 2.4 kilometers per second. And the separation of the first
3
stage
minutes and counting.
will take place at 110 seconds. So we are in the final 2 minutes for the launch, minus 2 minutes 49 seconds. So the page of the automatic launch sequence, as it is checking out the various health parameters, is looking all green. So minus 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Phase 2 charging of PS2 accumulator started.
So countdown at minus 2 minutes now.
Mark minus 2 minutes and counting.
Phase 2 charging completed.
So another 1 minute 50 seconds to go before we have the ignition of the solid core stage and 4 solid strap-on motors. So minus 1 minute 30 seconds. So minus 1 minute 18 seconds. We are very close to less than a minute for the launch now. As I mentioned to you, the liftoff is at
Stand by for the
19
time
hours,
mark.
which is 7 o'clock, with a...
Mark minus 1 minute.
So we are less than a minute now. We have a total launch window of around 10 minutes.
Minus 55 seconds.
All sorts are armed.
Minus 50 seconds.
All sequences are armed.
So minus 50 seconds.
Minus 45 seconds. Minus 40 seconds.
PS2,
So minus
VHP
40 seconds for
are
launch.
opened.
Minus 35 seconds. Minus 30 seconds.
So we are in the last 30
PS1
seconds.
ignition key lock enabled.
Real-time programs activated. Minus 25 seconds.
PS2 VSPPs are opened.
So minus
Minus
20
20
seconds.
seconds. Minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5,
So
plus 6,
PSLV
plus
liftoff.
7,
Liftoff
plus
normal.
8, plus 9,
PSLV
plus 10
liftoff
seconds.
normal with the ignition of the solid core booster and 4
Tracking.
solid strap-ons.
Plus 20 seconds.
So 20 seconds into the flight.
Stage performance normal.
Plus
First
25
stage
seconds.
performance has been declared as normal. The air lead strap-on has been successfully ignited at 25 seconds. So 40 seconds into the flight.
Performance normal.
So at 70 seconds you will have the separation of the ground lead strap-ons, where the vehicle altitude would be roughly around 24 kilometers.
Plus 1 minute.
So we're already 60 seconds. The performance of the first stage, yes, ground lead strap-on has been successfully separated at 70 seconds. The next important event will be the separation of the air lead strap-on at 92 seconds. The performance of the first stage has been normal.
Air lead strap-on separated.
Air lead strap-on has been successfully separated in 92 seconds. And as far as the altitude of the vehicle is concerned, it's an altitude of around 51 kilometers and the velocity is around 2.01 kilometer per second. The first stage of the rocket has been successfully separated at 109 seconds, and the second stage has been successfully ignited at 109
Plus
seconds.
2 minutes.
So just waiting for the announcement from the range operation director for the nominal performance of the second stage.
Second stage performance normal.
Yes, second stage performance is normal. And during the second stage of flight, the closed loop guidance has been, algorithm has been initiated. Right now we are at 145 seconds. Exactly at the 203 seconds when the vehicle reaches an altitude of 115 kilometers, you will have the announcement for separation of the payload fairing. The time is at 160 seconds, velocity 2.6
Second stage performance normal.
kilometer per second, and the range the vehicle has traveled is around 205 kilometers now. So second stage performance is normal. जैसा कि हमने कहा अभी PSLV का पहला चरण सफलतापूर्वक जलकर सेकेंड स्टेज से अलग कर दिया गया है और जहां तक परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द फर्स्ट स्टेज एंड सेकेंड स्टेज इज कंसर्न्ड, इट हैज बीन nominal performance. So 195 seconds into the flight, altitude of around 115 kilometers, very close to the announcement for the payload fairing separation. As for the nominal timing, at 203 seconds we should have the separation of the payload fairing. Time is 224 seconds.
Second stage performance normal.
Second stage performance is normal.
What break taking the vehicle in Minato?
Plus 4 minutes.
So 240 seconds into the flight, the velocity is around 4.33 kilometer per second. Altitude is 131 kilometers. The second stage cutoff is expected at 260 seconds when the vehicle would have been at an altitude of 134 kilometers.
Second stage engine shut off.
Second stage has
Third
been
stage
successfully
ignited.
separated at 263 seconds, and the third stage has been ignited at 264 seconds. So velocity of the
Third
vehicle,
stage performance normal.
the third stage performance is normal. The velocity is around 5 kilometers and the vehicle has crossed a range of almost 658 kilometers. The third stage of the rocket, which is the PS3 stage, will burn for nearly 120 seconds. After its burnout, the vehicle will continue to progress
Third
further
stage performance normal.
before the fourth stage gets ignited after 230 seconds. So there will be a coasting time of around 230 seconds between the third stage burnout and the fourth stage. So we just heard the announcement, the PS3 performance is normal. So at 329 seconds,
Third stage performance normal.
third stage performance has been declared as nominal. So 348 seconds. As per the nominal timing, the PS3 burnout should happen at 385 seconds. The vehicle is at an altitude
Plus
of
6
around
minutes.
100 and
Third stage performance normal.
so third stage performance normal. The vehicle is an altitude of around 138.5 kilometers. Another 15 seconds to go before we hear the announcement for the
Third stage action completed. Vehicle in coasting phase.
so third stage burnout, and the vehicle is burnt out, and the vehicle is going through the coasting phase right now. And as far as the ignition of the fourth stage is concerned, it should happen at 616 seconds. The time right now is 400 seconds, and the velocity is around 7 kilometer. An altitude of around 142 kilometers. So right now the vehicle is going through the coasting phase
Vehicle
of activities.
coasting normal.
So 400, another 200 seconds before we
Plus 7
have the
minutes.
ignition of the fourth stage. The view of the ground trace, where
Tracking in main auto.
the mission control center here. The time versus altitude plot and the velocity plot that is depicted on the screen. This is the ground trace that is shown, where we have a very close match of the pre-flight prediction of the ground trace versus the flight conditions. And as far as the time versus altitude is concerned, a very close match with respect to the performance of the pre-flight. So we are going through the coasting phase between the third and fourth stage.
Plus 8 minutes.
Vehicle in coasting phase.
Vehicle is presently going through the coasting phase. 490 seconds. And as per the planned timing, the PS4 ignition should happen at 617 seconds, when the vehicle would have reached an altitude of around 187. As far as the PS4 region is concerned, the PS4 burning is for nearly 500 plus seconds. And after the PS4 ignition, you will have the burnout of PS4 stage at around 1128 seconds. PS4 engine has been ignited.
Plus 9 minutes.
At 530.4 seconds.
PS4 engine started.
PS4 engine ignition has been ignited. The time right now is 575 seconds, and the vehicle has reached a velocity of around 7.15 kilometer per second, the range of around 2,600 kilometers. The altitude is around 152 kilometers, and the range is nearly 2,670 kilometers. So 625 seconds into the flight. The velocity is around 7.2. The vehicle has attained an altitude of 155 kilometers now. We're just awaiting the announcement from the range operation director to confirm of the performance on the fourth stage. So almost 200 seconds into the flight of the PS4 stage, so 694 seconds. The altitude is steadily rising to 163 kilometers and the velocity is 7.44 kilometers per second. As far as the PS4 burnout is concerned, to reach an orbit of around 284 kilometer perigee and 20,600 kilometer apogee, we would require a velocity of nearly 9.6 kilometer per second. So right now we are at 7.5 kilometer per second velocity. Time is 727 seconds. So we are into the fourth stage flight. Velocity has reached around 7.6 kilometer. The view of the range operation director. So there has been a variation in the performance from the pre-flight prediction as of now. But for the final performance, we'll await the announcement from the range operation director. But if you look at the display plot of the time versus altitude and the velocity, we have the time instant of almost 800 seconds that has been reached. And the velocity is 7.7 kilometer per second. So right now the vehicle has attained an orbital velocity where we have a perigee of around 130 and apogee of around 1900 right now. Time is 834 seconds, 7.8 kilometer per second. Another 2 kilometer per second velocity is expected in the next 200 to 300 seconds burning of PS4 stage. So view of the ground trace, and as you can see on your screen, the time at 8:63, we have the perigee of 140 kilometer that is attained and an apogee of around 2,600 kilometers. The velocity that will be required to reach the final destined orbit will be 9.7 kilometer per second.
Acquired the signal.
So nearly
15 minutes.
900 seconds. Velocity of just 8 kilometer per second right now, and altitude is around 232 kilometers. As far as the nominal altitude at the PS4 cutoff is concerned,
Acquired the satellite signal.
it should be around 455 kilometers. and the time at that instant will be 1128 seconds. So another 200 seconds before we have the PS4 burnout. Now I'm waiting for the final clearance from the range operation director in terms of the performance and the remaining time. So 980 seconds. As far as the perigee and apogee is concerned, they are lower than the predefined number at this instant of time. So almost 1,000 seconds into the flight right now. Thousand 25 seconds. The velocity is around 8.3 km per second.
We are 1 and 2 tracking the vehicle in main auto.
So second stage, just awaiting the confirmation from the range operation director. So PS4 shutoff command has been issued at 1039 seconds, and as per the display screen on the flight events, IRNSS-1H satellite separation command has been issued as 1076 seconds. So we are waiting for the announcement from the range operation director. As you can see on your screen, the perigee and apogee is around 167 by 6,554 kilometers. The time as is shown on your screen is 1185 seconds. So we'll come back to you once we have the formal announcement from the range operation director. So chairman is on your screen. Just waiting for the announcement from the range operation director here at this juncture.
This is the range operations director. During the flight, heat shield is not separated. Further analysis will be carried out subsequently.
So we just heard the announcement from the range operation director that as the heat shield has not been separated, further analysis will be carried out at a later point of time. So we take you back to the mission control center.